This video is presented by Living Roots Travel, Stellar Stories, and the Georgia Tourism Board. Out in the easternmost region of Kakheti is one of the smallest towns of Georgia, Signaghi. Although not as famous as Tbilisi, Kazbegi, or Spanenti, Signaghi is visited by many food and wine enthusiasts because it's the heart of Georgia's wine-growing region. It overlooks the Alazabi Valley, and the Caucasus Mountains are also visible from a distance. Over the years, Signaghi has seen a great boom in tourism as locals reinvented themselves to adapt towards foreigners. Hotels on top of the hills with snow-capped mountain views have been opening every year. And the good news is, despite the tourism increase, Signaghi retains its charm by being less touristy. Anyone who lives in Georgia, visits Georgia, drinks in Georgia, and eats in Georgia will know about the Kakheti region. Kakhetian cuisine is known to be simple and hearty, consisting mainly of roasted or boiled meat and lots of salads. Kakhetians love food that nourishes the body after a long day of working in the fields. We are at the Bridge Cafe in Signaghi, and we are going to have more food and more wine in this very cute area. Take a look. The Lost Ridge Inn is one of the most popular accommodations in Signaghi, not because of their hotel, but because of their restaurant, their horse ranch, their own beer brewery, and their extensive and super local food and wine tours within Georgia. Georgians love to eat, and no doubt, the Lost Ridge Cafe had introduced me to the best Georgian dishes there are. First, the local cheese from one of the villages in Signaghi. Mariam, where is your cheese from?
So this cheese is from Ibani, which is a village nearby. It's cow cheese and aged differently. This is with meat, for instance.
So it's local, like?
Locally.
Okay. So there's Georgian cheese?
Yes.
This is Georgian cheese.
This is already aged, you know, this is with experiments like mint and things like that. So proper, like without anything, Georgian cheese is a few different types.
This is how the Georgians eat, and Mariam told us this is not it.
What?
There's more food. Like, oh mama, gonna be fat here. Let me quickly introduce you to all the food that I had for this dinner. First, the pork mitzvadi with pomegranate grilled on grapevines, which is skewer meat, and it is the most popular among the dishes of this country. Another interesting dish is the fried jonjoli. Jonjoli is a common Georgian appetizer that are pickled sprouts from a bush that grows in the area. Then we have the village eggs with goose foots and sumac, which is easily described as the Georgian shakshuka. Then we have the dolma from the Ottoman cuisine stuffed with beef, sometimes vegetables, fruits, or seafood. In Turkey, they also call this the sarma. We also had different types of wines, but I can only remember Chitistuola and Shavkapito.
Oh, it's very
I will
clear.
explain that further when we visit their vineyard later.
Super red. Yeah.
And I also had my first cha-cha in Lost Ridge Cafe, a drink feared by many tourists. All right, guys, I'm having my first cha-cha. Wish me luck. Ooh, it's not so bad. You're like, what? Ew.
This is my 40th cha-cha.
Cha-cha is a Georgian brandy, as clear as water, but don't be fooled. It has 65% alcohol. Whew, this should make me sleep. Cha-cha can be equivalent to Italy's grappa.
I know. Sometimes alcohol would just like...
At the end of the night, of course, the most local thing to do is to party with the staff and drink some more wine. And oh, we also had some late night desserts. Eating in Georgia just never ends.
Basically, when you make cheese, you have to have something that separates the fat from the whey. Right. So you.
I think the most interesting, or rather the most impressive character in this trip to Georgia was John. He's an American who's been here since the 90s. He knows a lot about Georgian folk music. He knows about Georgian wines. He's visited a lot of small family wineries in the Kakheti regions and in the mountains. I am greatly impressed by this person. A lot of Georgians also told me that John is more knowledgeable than them in terms of food and wine in Georgia. And I feel very, very privileged to sit down and dine with John and drink with John and chat with John, because I really learned a lot from him. It would be a great honor for me to come back to Georgia and stay for a few months, maybe next year, to work for John. And what's really, really drawing me to come back and work for him is that I feel like there is always a place for everyone at John's table. This is not it. I feel very drunk. But now we're going in the actual vineyard and taste more wine there. John is going to take us to his estate of grapes, and there are over 400 types of grapes that are grown here, and John's gonna tell us about that. What is this?
This is the cellar. So this is where we're making our wine. It's our original cellar we built in 2007. And here there's space for about 30,000 liters of wine.
Kivevris are large earthenware vessels used for fermentation, storage, and aging of traditional Georgian wine. They are like large egg-shaped amphorae, like the Greek, without handles, that are either buried below ground or set into the floors of large wine cellars. Kivevri means that which is buried, according to John. Once it's in the ground, the clay vessel is able to harness seasonal temperature shifts to help form the wine. So autumn's warmth spurs spontaneous fermentation, while winter's chill helps the wine stabilize. The Georgians use descriptive imagery to describe the Kivevri's role in making the wine. This is all we do. Drink. I think that this is so far my favorite tasting trip in this tour. Oh my God, teeth are black. Georgian Wine 101. The following are the types of wine that John made me try. Tisolikori, light yellow-skinned white grape variety grown mainly in western Imereti district of Georgia. Mitzvane was named to refer to the yellowish green coloring of the ripened berries. In the Georgian language, Mitzvane means new, young, and green. Kisi, the popular amber wine, is made from hand-picked grapes and one of the rare indigenous Georgian grape varieties called Kisi. Rekatsiteli is one of the oldest grape varieties In Georgia, clay vessels were found with seeds of Riccatelli grapes, which date back to 3000 BC. Chitistola is not very common in Georgia, as everyone drinks saperavi. John's winery only produces 200 bottles a year. Shavkapito, a nuanced red from Kartli, Georgia, is my favorite red. Its berries are medium-sized and have a distinctly dark blue color. John also made us try the Petnat Chaveri, which is a light, natural, sparkling wine.
Don't get too close or it'll get on your lens, unless
Okay.
you want like a real action shot.
Can I be behind you?
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Yay!
We'll do one more.
Petnat is a shorter term for pétillant naturel, which means naturally bubbling. I also encountered a new Georgian dish on this trip, which is the shkhmeruli. It is Georgian chicken dish cooked in milk and garlic. There was also the sinori from the Adjarian cuisine, which is cottage cheese with ghee and pepper. Lastly, which is not a first for me, is chakapuli, a seasonal Georgian dish usually made with lamb, but this one was made with mushrooms because John is vegetarian. Oh, thank you. This is such a nice gift from John. Wow. You should buy this. Wow. Thank you so much, guys.
I look for love in all the same old places.